still pray, just not the way they used to. Not with folded hands and perfect words, but with hearts split clean in two. We pray in the pauses between breaths, in the mess we couldn't outrun. We don't ask for crowns or answers, we just ask not to be done. We've burned bridges we meant to cross, said things we can't retrieve. We've made a habit of disappointment and called it disbelief. Still when the night gets heavy and pride finally loosens its grip, broken men still pray in whispers from the edge of their lips. Broken men still pray, though shame tells us not to try. It says we've crossed the line too many times, that mercy's passed us by. So we lower our expectation, aim our hope real low. We don't ask to be forgiven, just ask not to be alone. We've learned how to survive the damage, how to laugh when we're not okay. We've mastered the art of pretending so nobody knows what to say. But pretending doesn't quiet the ache, doesn't silence the fear. So broken men still pray to a God they hope is still near. Broken men still pray, even when they don't believe, even when the words feel heavy and faith feels thin as leaves. We don't come clean or confident, we don't know what to say, we just show up empty-handed. Broken men still pray, broken men still pray. After the damage is done, after the apologies don't fix it, after there's nowhere left to run, we pray in cars at midnight, in rooms that feel like cells. We pray because silence answers back with memories we can't expel. We don't ask God to make us heroes, we've outgrown that life. We just ask Him to sit with us while we sort through why we keep choosing the hard road, why we keep testing the flame, why we're better at carrying guilt than letting go of blame. Broken men still pray, not because we're strong or sure, but because everything else failed us and grace still feels possible, maybe pure. We don't know if we're being hurt, we don't know if we're okay, but hope refuses to die quietly. Broken men still pray, broken men still pray, with language bent and worn, with sentences that trail off like faith that's barely formed. Sometimes prayer is just a question, sometimes it's just a name, sometimes it's silence offered up instead of polished claims. We've learned faith isn't confidence, it isn't having it all together. Sometimes faith is staying in a room when you wanna disappear forever. It's admitting you're scared to hope, scared to believe again, still choosing to knock on heaven's door with blood on your hands. What if prayer isn't performance? What if it's just staying present? What if God isn't waiting for clean words, just an honest sentence? What if broken isn't disqualified? What if it's how we start? What if the only thing God needs is a willing, wounded heart? Maybe prayer is just breathing when everything hurts. Maybe grace speaks fluently in the language of dirt. What if prayer isn't performance? What if it's just staying present? What if God isn't waiting for clean words, just an honest sentence? What if broken isn't disqualified? What if it's how we start? What if the only thing God needs is a willing, wounded heart? Maybe prayer is just breathing when everything hurts. Maybe grace speaks fluently in the language of dirt. Broken men still pray after the fight is gone, after the pride is exhausted and the pretending won't last long. After the mirror tells the truth you've been avoiding all week, after the weight finally teaches you you're not as strong as you think. We don't pray to escape consequences. We don't pray to erase the past. We pray because somewhere deep inside we still believe this isn't our last. We still believe in mercy that doesn't flinch at scars. We still believe God listens even when we fall apart. Broken men still pray, not loudly, not on display, but quietly, honestly, desperately. At the end of the day, we don't come righteous or rehearsed. We don't come brave, we just come as we are. Broken men still pray. If you're broken and still praying, even if you don't know why, that's not weakness, that's faith refusing to die.